Good morning, and or good afternoon, good evening. I'm delighted to see you, although I may not be able to see all of you all the time. This morning, I'm going to work a little bit on chair yoga, because I'm very aware that some people have difficulty moving. And we also might be working on the floor with a little bit of yin yoga. And if you're working on the floor, you might want to gather some props. I have a bolster and a blanket and a block, and I have a gorgeous ball, which is a kind of squishy ball that you can make bigger or small, inflate or deflate. But you can use just a towel or something that you wrap up, or a t-shirt. You can use that. So this morning, I'm going to think about the theme of Viveka, which is discernment. And we'll just sit here in sort of chair mountain pose, which is simply, I'll move this back a little bit, which is simply feet on the floor, maintaining a back where you get a sense of axial elongation, the axial skeleton moving from actually the bones in the inner ear all the way down the spine to the tailbone, and you get a sense of really moving up here. And I'll begin just by settling in. I want you to really make your feet active in this pose. So I'll invite you to just spread your toes and then put your feet down. Imagine that your feet are like the arches of your feet are like suction cups, and when you're placing them down on the floor. So we're just sitting here in a chair pose, and I'll just invite us to breathe maybe a little more with a little more focus than we have been. So we're settling in, we're finding a good place to be. We can move back and forth, side to side, and really find ourselves centered on our sit bones here. And you can, your hands, you can leave in your lap. You can put them on your knee, someplace where they're very relaxed. You can give your palms up or down. All right, so we're going to inhale and then exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. And I'll just invite you to inhale and exhale for a few more times, and feel, when you inhale, feel your belly filling up, and then the middle of your chest, and then the top of your chest, like you would be filling a glass of water. So it's inhale at the bottom, and then the top, and then you exhale from the top down. So the chest, and then the mid chest, and then the belly. And once again, inhale, and then exhale, finding a space of repose while sitting in our chair. And while you're breathing, inhaling and exhaling regularly, I'm just going to read a poem by Anne Sexton, who is an American poet, now deceased, a brilliant poet. This is called Welcome Morning. And I myself am quite secular and a non-believer. So when I hear the word God in the poem, I think of something that is good, all that is good. That's what I think about. So you can think about God if you are a believer, or you can think about some substitute for God that satisfies you. So here it is. Welcome morning. There is joy in all, in the hair I brush each morning, in the cannon towel newly washed that I rub my body with each morning, in the chapel of eggs I cook each morning, in the outcry from the kettle that heats my coffee each morning, in the spoon and the chair that cry, "Hello there, Anne," each morning, in the Godhead of the table that I set my silver plate cup upon each morning. All this is God, right here in my pea greenhouse each morning, and I mean, though often forget, to give thanks, to faint down by the kitchen table in a prayer of rejoicing, as the holy birds at the kitchen window peck into their marriage of seeds. So while I think of it, let me paint a thank you on my palm for this God, this laughter of the morning, lest it go unspoken. The joy that isn't shared, I've heard, dies young. So we're going to focus this morning on finding this joy in the moment. And in this time of war, this is hard work and it's very important. So like Anne Sexton, we're going to take great pleasure in just the experience of being here right now. The sensation in our fingertips and our toes, the sensation in our sit bone touching the chair, the sensation in our head, feeling the crown chakra up here, really feeling like it's rising up. Now we're going to just lean forward here into a diagonal so that we're just at about a 45-degree angle. And here we're going to just rest for a moment, and then we're going to come up. And then we're going to lift our right foot up, and we're going to put it right over top of our left thigh, and we can feel this in our hip joint. Now, these postures we're going to hold for time, so it might be a little bit uncomfortable for you. So you want to discern with Viveka, that is the Hindu notion of discernment, of a way of figuring out the difference between illusion and reality. So we're going to figure out that our bodies are our teachers, what feels all right for us. I'm flexing my foot, I'm pressing out through my heel, and I'm pulling my toes back, and I have my hand on my right thigh, and I'm just pressing down very gently. I'm not pressing down very much, but you can feel it in your hip, that opening. Now, if you want to do something a little bit more advanced, and you can lift up your leg and put it in your hook of your arm, and you can sway your leg back and forth, or you can just sit like this and pull it towards your chest. Now that's a more supple hips, but you can just sit here. I'm not sure whether you can hear my old dog snorting, but she's very old and he snorts in the morning. Okay, so here we are, just sitting here, thinking about some of those lines of poetry that enable us to just be here right this very minute and let our breath guide our thoughts. So our thoughts are like clouds in the sky, and we experience them drifting through our consciousness. And if we close our eyes, we can imagine them as clouds on the inner side of our eyelids, and they're floating past. And as they float past, we may acknowledge a thought, and then we kiss it goodbye. We let it float elsewhere. And we just are sitting here breathing with our leg in this posture, or you may have lifted your leg up, you may be holding it, and we're just resting here for a moment. And we're not actually resting because we're pressing our foot into the ground. And we are really feeling that our hip is externally rotated here. And if you like, you can in fact bend forward over top of your leg, and you can embrace your leg here. This might be uncomfortable. If it's too uncomfortable, come up. But Yin Yoga is about resilience, and some discomfort is okay, as long as it's not outright pain. Because your discomfort is you bringing yourself to the limit edge of your body's ability to move. And then you can pull back, and then you can move forward again. So I'm just breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now I'm going to come up, and I'm going to put that foot down, and I'm just going to move my legs back and forth, just to give them a little bit of a release. And now we'll lift our left leg up into this figure 4 position. And once again, your feet are flexed. I'm pushing out through my heel, and I'm pulling my toes back. So I'm really arching my feet here. And I'm pushing this foot towards that wall, but I'm also sitting up straight and feeling I'm pressing into my thigh here, simply to, and you can actually take your hand and rotate your hip a little bit by outwards. You can just rotate it a little bit. And I'm sitting up straight. I've settled into my sit bones here, and I'm just going to sit here and feel a sense of simple presence, I think, presence in the world. So just as Anne Sexton sees God in the plate and the silverware, which is a little bit of an anachronism, we don't really use silverware that much, but our spoon and our fork and our knife. And say we're having a soft-boiled egg, we can hear the crack of the spoon against the eggshell, and we can imagine the spoon moving into that beautiful soft flesh of the egg. And we can even take that spoon and we can put it in our mouth, and we can taste the yolk as it drips down our throat. So we're actually becoming present in our mind's eye with this moment. Imagine being here now, welcoming this morning. And we're breathing. And now we're going to, if you're up to it, we're going to lean forward over top of our leg with the back straight, and then we can actually fold over and just let our heads hang suspended. You can drop your arms down by your side, and this provides an amazing opening in our left glute, and also provides an opportunity for us to breathe into our back body. So we can also, if you want to, we can lift our arms up and over top of our head, and just have them straight over top of our leg. And as we're doing this, we feel our sit bones really moving backwards towards the back of the chair almost. Now we're just going to come up, and we can open out our arms to the side. and down. And we can lift our leg up carefully and set our foot down. And then we can move our knees from side to side in what's called windshield wiper movement. Okay, now let's do some arm movements just to get and some neck movements just to get our body working. Now you will have the Viveka, the discernment to know what your body can do. So if you have serious neck problems, don't do anything that's going to hurt yourself. So let's just drop our head over to the right and then to the left, right, left. And we can do this by inhaling to the right and exhaling to the left. And inhaling to the right, exhaling to the left. Inhaling and exhaling. And we're going to do the same forward and back. Forward, we're dropping our head forward, exhaling. And then we're inhaling and raising our head up. And we can feel our chest open here. And then we're exhaling. And then we're inhaling. Chest open, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Okay, and let's lift the side of our neck up this way and then look up. Just turn our eyes and look up. This stretches a little bit the side neck, the side of your neck. And let's do the other side. So we're stretching the side of our neck up, and then we're turning our head slightly to look up, but we can still feel that lovely stretch in the side of our neck. Good. We're coming down. Now let's roll our shoulders back. We'll do this 5 times. 3, 4, 5, and then roll them forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And we're going to lift our arms out, and then we're going to bring them in. We're going to wrap our hands around our shoulders and give ourselves a big hug. And lift your elbows up here, but give yourself a big hug. And then rotate your body from side to side. So we'll inhale to the left, and then we'll exhale to the right. Inhale to the left, and exhale to the right. Inhale and exhale. And then let's open our arms out again and then wrap them with the other arm on top. And then once again, we're rotating again back and forth, inhaling and exhaling. We're trying to keep our breath steady, and we're just rotating the top of our body in this twist. We're not rotating our hips or our thighs. Good. All right, now let's keep one foot on the ground and then stretch out the other foot straight so that we're on our heel. And come to the edge of the chair and just tilt forward slightly. And you'll feel, you could hang on to the back of the chair if you like. This might be uncomfortable. So yeah, I'm sitting on the edge of my chair here, and I've got one leg out, and then I'm holding onto the back of my chair, and I'm just edging forward here so that I'm on the diagonal, and I'm just going to rest here. And if you like, you can fold over and hold on to your shin if this is comfortable for you. Or if it's not comfortable, just hold on to the back of your chair. So this is a kind of a chair seated forward bend. The last one we did is called Chair Pigeon. It reminds us of the pigeon pose in our usual hatha yoga practice. All right, now we're going to come up and we'll do the other side. Once again, we're on our heel. So we'll really feel ourselves moving forward here, holding onto the back of the chair. Good. Now we'll come up, and then we'll just once again, we'll windshield wiper our legs back and forth, just to give our hips a little movement here. And we're going to go into a wide leg forward bend. And I'll read some lines from the poem just to give us something to focus on while we're doing this. So I want you to put your legs out wide, and your feet can be facing, on the slightly on the diagonal. And then I want us to really imagine. Now you can do it facing the other way. Like I've got an open chair at the back, but for now I'm just going to do this. You go right through the pivot open chair, right through the middle of the open chair. But I'm just reaching down here, and I'm going down with a straight back, as straight as I can imagine. And once again, my legs are open, they're comfortable, but they're very wide. And I'm going down, flat back, and then I'm going to put my hands on the floor here. So that, and I can use I could use a block here if this is too difficult. Or you can use your fingers. And as we're sitting here, I want us to really feel let's just touch our thighs and just imaginatively rotate them out. So we're externally rotated here. And our spine is as straight as we can manage. And you can just fold over here and drop your head. You don't want to make it too uncomfortable for your neck. So you can do this. So I'm just going to stay here for 2 minutes and see how I do and how you're doing after 2 minutes. I'm just going to read a few lines of this poem just to get us back into being very present. And what we're present for is joy, is that deep abiding sense of contentment and of a certain kind of elation. And it's really important for us to remember what that feels like. But one of the Buddhist teachers talks about how joy is in the smile, and then the smile is what actually gives us joy. So joy gives us a smile, but our smile can also give us joy, which is a lovely way to remind us that if we turn our lips upwards into a smile, we might have some memory of joy. It might inhabit our being. Okay, here's part of the poem. There is joy in all. In the hair I brush each morning, in the cannon towel, newly washed, that I rub my back, my body with each morning, in the chapel of eggs I cook each morning, in the outcry from the kettle that heats my coffee each morning, in the spoon and the chair that cry, hello there, Anne, each morning, in the Godhead of the table that I set my silver plate cup upon each morning. All this is God, right here in my pea green house each morning. And I mean, though often forget to give thanks, to faint down by the kitchen table in a prayer of rejoicing as the holy birds at the kitchen window peck into their marriage of seeds. So while I think of it, let me paint a thank you on my palm for this God, this laughter of the morning, lest it go unspoken. The joy that isn't shared, I've heard, dies young. All right, now we can push into our hands, rise ourselves up onto our fingertips. We can put our hands on our thighs and rise up. Good. Now let's just bring our feet back to the front of our chair. And once again, we can windshield wipe our feet back and forth, our legs back and forth, or we can just flap them like wings. Good. Now we're going to, I'm going to move my chair just so that you can see it more clearly. I'm going to be sitting on the side, on the on my chair, we're going to do a twist. Let's see how that feels. Here we are. So we're sitting with our back on the chair, our feet once again flat on the floor in front of us. And lift our toes up. Feel that we are really lifting our collarbone up, our chest up, crown of our head up, really feeling we're ascending. We're imagining like those birds, we're just, the top part of our body is flying up towards the sky. And now we're just going to, with this sense of axial elongation, our spine, our axial spine, really moving up, we're going to simply turn from the bottom of our torso, we're going to turn towards, in this case, I'm turning towards the left, and I'm holding on to the chair, and I'm going to grasp the chair with both hands. And I'm actually going to move that hand to the back, to the other side of the chair. So I'm using the chair as a kind of instrument for rotation. And while I'm doing this, I'm lifting my collarbone and my chest up so that it's a very, very strong twist. And we'll just stay here for approximately 2 moments. Rotating, really feeling the beauty of our body, its ability to move in space in a way that liberates us from some of the more the postures that we hold that are not necessarily the best for us. We often sit with sloping shoulders, etc. And this is really intended to give us some length in the spine and some mobility in our spine. We know that while we have chronological age, the mobility of our spine, according to some yoga teachers, is what determines our chronological age. So we should all have very mobile spines and we'll live forever. Good. And now we're just going to turn around and sit in front, and we can rotate our shoulders. We might have a little strain in our shoulders, modest strain. Once again, this is about discomfort, not about terrible pain. And we'll just do the same. We'll sit really feeling ourselves up, moving up, and then moving, turning with our chest raised towards the other side, and we can hold on to the front of the chair with one hand, and then I'm reaching the other hand back to hold on to the other side of the chair, and I'm just using that to help me lift up and to turn. So once again, with our inhalation and exhalation, we can really feel, feel our chest rising up with the inhalation. And then with the exhalation, we can really actually feel maybe a little bit of a deeper twist as we exhale. And once again, we're going to inhale, and then maybe we feel a little bit more of a twist with the exhalation. And we're going to just stay here for several moments. We're just feeling what it's like to be very present. Our thoughts are drifting through our mind's eye, and we're just kissing them as they fly. Great. Now we can let go of the chair and carefully move around, and once again sit with our imagine our our back loosening up. We can roll our shoulders back. We can move our feet on the floor, pat the floor. We can pat our legs. And we can pat our arms and really just awaken our body here. Okay, good. Now we'll move back. Now, what you can do right now is for a little bit of a rest, and this is a little bit like once again, we're going to go back into the pigeon pose. That is the leg coming up again. We'll try this one more time to open our hips. This is quite a lot of hip movement in this one. And you can use a bolster or a blanket to fold over here if you like. You don't have to go all the way down onto your legs. So this is just another variation here. We'll just do for a moment. So that you have some support under your chest. And you're also able to move quite deeply into the pigeon. You might find it's a bit painful here, so you could put a towel or something in there if you find the bony parts of your side leg hurting. All right, we're just going to just suspend ourselves here. Just relax. You can let your arms hang down if you like. Let your head hang down. And we're just resting here. It's not really rest in Yin Yoga because there's quite a lot of work. Like we're pressing into our foot here, the bottom foot on the ground. We are feeling the opening in our hip. In this case, it's my right leg that's raised. So my hip is opening here. And the upper part of my body, though, is really relaxed and just I'm letting go there. The bottom part of my body is working. Okay, and then we'll just try it with the other leg. We're not holding this as long as the other ones, but just to give you a sense of a variation that might be helpful for you. So we've got this, we're folding over the blanket or the bolster, and we can just hang out here, pressing our foot into the ground and flexing actively the raised leg, the raised foot. And once again, we're breathing here into our back body. We feel it filling up our lower back, or the lower ribs, our middle back, middle ribs, upper back, upper ribs, and then we're exhaling from the top down. And we're just inhaling from the bottom up and exhaling. And you may be feeling a little the effects of this sort of slow meditative Yin Yoga that allows you to slow down a little bit, to find yourself in the midst of sometimes the chaos of my day. And I tend to get very involved in intellectual activity, and I have a very active mind, and I've been a peace activist for a long time. So when there's a war that's so present, I find it difficult to find a center. So this really helps. And then we're going to come up again, and we can lift that leg up and put it down on the ground. All right. Now here, I'm sitting on a chair, and I have another chair here, or I can actually do this. I have a handy little Ingle milk in my house, which is, the house is falling down, but the ankle nook is still standing. And I'm just using, you could use another chair, or you could use the wall or something. And I'm just going to extend my legs out so that they're supported. And I have an opportunity here to basically, this would be Dandasana if we were sitting on the floor with my legs extended. And I'm just going to sit here for a moment, breathing in chair Dandasana or staff pose. And then I'm going to, and I have my feet flexed, and then I'm going to fold over my legs and hold on to my feet. You could have a strap here and just hold on to the strap, or you can hold on to your shins. And if you hold on to your shins, you can slowly feel your forearms moving down towards your legs, perhaps, as you move forward. So we're going to hold this for 2 minutes. And as you sit, you can in fact move forward over your legs. Now my back is straight here. Imagine it's straight. I'm not sure that it's actually not very straight. It's straight. But now I'm going to just fold over my legs and allow my head to fold out. And in my case, I'm going to hold the tops of my feet. But you can, in fact, hold your shins or hold a strap. And I'm just resting here. I'm not really resting. I'm actually inhaling and exhaling and allowing myself, when I inhale, to come up a bit. And then when I exhale, I'm actually moving forward, and I'm moving my chest towards my knees. And I'm moving my nose towards my feet so that I'm elongating my spine as I'm moving down towards my legs. And we're just going to maintain this pose for a little while longer. And now we're going to just roll up. So you can roll your spine up. And you can lift your legs up and put them on the floor here. And you can move your legs back and forth in windshield wiper again. Okay. Now, we're going to do a little bit of movement on the floor now, just to mix it up a bit. And for those of you who are can't go onto the floor, I will give you some alternate movements. But we're going to just sit here in what's called butterfly pose, feet together, your legs are flapping like butterflies. We can flap them like butterflies. And we can feel, once again, our spine moving up, our knees we can put our elbows actually into our thighs and help ourselves move our knees down if that's comfortable. You can also feel that your feet are opening up like a book. And this opening your feet up as a book will help you open up your groin a little bit more. And in this butterfly pose, we can also, once again, use a bolster or 2 bolsters or cushions. You have cushions, and we can just lay ourselves over here. Just we're allowing our knees to move towards the ground. So this is quite active on the bottom. The top part of our body is really just being supported here. So it's not a strain. And you can have something for your head. If your head is feeling, the neck is feeling sore, you can stick something underneath there, a blanket, a towel. You can just rest here. But once again, you're using this opportunity to really open up your groin by moving incrementally, probably, your knees towards the ground. And as you do this, you may find that your body loosens up a little, and you can move. You don't need quite as much support, and you can move down a little bit further. And now you can come up. The next posture is sitting swan pose. So this is just knees bent. You're actually moving back. You have your straight arms behind you so that you are supported by them, and you're opening your chest here. And you can put one leg once again up here in figure 4, and just lean your push your chest up, lean into the back, and really feel the opening in your back body. Now, if that's too uncomfortable, you can just extend your legs forward and just lean back. And I would extend your heels out so that your feet are flexed. This is a very good chest opener. And it does some good things to your shoulders as well. Come up. And we're going to move onto our buttocks here, and we're going to do half a cow pose. So we're going to just we can leave our one leg out, and we can just bring say in this case my right leg foot in towards my hip, and my knees are on top of each other. Now, if you like to do the whole cow pose, you can move both legs in behind you and sit here, and you can move forward. If that's too uncomfortable, just leave the bottom foot out, and we'll just do half cow pose. And you can move down. You're basically just bending at the hip joint and moving forward. And you can walk your hands forward. You can hold on to your foot. Once again, you can put a bolster on your leg here, and you can just fold over that. And you can use a small bolster, small blanket, or a larger one, whatever feels good. And we're just going to stay here for a couple of moments. Then we're going to come up and we'll do the other side. So we'll just extend out my right foot, bring my left foot in, cross it over so that your knees are on top of each other and your upper foot is towards your hip. All right. If you want to do the full pose, you can bring both legs back towards your hips and have your knees on top of each other in full cow pose. I'll just leave this leg out just to demonstrate with the half cow pose. And I'm going to just use a bolster or a blanket to put, or a cushion to allow myself to really just let the upper part of the body go and descend over top of the lower part of your body. So you can, in fact, just let it hang there like that. You can give your forehead some support. There are lots of ways to do this so that you have some support if you need it. And now you're going to just roll yourself up and extend your legs out. Just give them a little shake. Move your feet back and forth, rotate them, and you can just tap the ground with your soles of your feet. Give yourself a little jiggle, which seems to be very good for you. All right. Now, let's do a little opening of our groin again. I'm just going to sit on the ground on my sit bones here with my knees bent. And I'm just going to use windshield wiper here and then to the other side. And I'm lifting my hip up here in the back so that you can lift it up and then you can actually stretch the inside of your groin here as you're moving forward. And this just is a little bit of a counterbalance to what we were doing. All right, good. And here we are now with our, I'm moving back here just so you can see me. And I'm going to extend my legs out, whatever feels comfortable for you. And I'll gather up some props here so that I can show you how you can manage it a little bit differently. So we've got a cushion, blanket, bolsters, lots of things here that we can use. And once again, a little ball. So I've just got my legs out and I could do something like this because I'm going to sit up straight with my feet my heels are pointing out. My heels are flexed, my toes are pointing up rather, and my heels are pointing, are really moving out. I'm feeling the energy moving right from my groin all the way down and out my heels. I'm imagining that I have a very fast waterfall moving in both directions and they're just shooting out the bottom of my heels. Lots of energy here and lots of length in the spine, just sitting up here. All right, and now we're going to move forward. Now you can just walk your hands forward and use that as a support for you. You could also use a bolster by setting it up on the end. You could use it as a support for your head and just drop your arms. You could hold on to your toes if you can do that. You could have two straps on the inner arches of your feet, and you could hold on to them that way, so that you're tipping your pelvis in this posture, and you're moving down with a straight spine at first, and then you're going to allow yourself just to fold over in whatever
and just allowing the upper body to really sink into the floor, towards the floor. And once again, you're kind of, I'm really feeling that hinge of the hip as I move forward. And I'm going to hold on to my toes here. And I think I'd like to have a little more support. So I'm going to use my bolsters to support me here. Just because, why not? It's morning and I deserve some support. Okay, here we go. And I'm holding here. And as I sink more deeply into this pose, because we're going to we're staying here for a couple of minutes, and this is Yin. So this is about resilience. This is moving towards your edge, feeling the discomfort, and then allowing yourself to sink a little bit further down. And here we go. Once again, we're breathing into our back body here. We're feeling our lungs opening like wings. Our shoulder blades are moving down our back, and our lungs are opening like wings in our back body. Imagine that. And now we're just going to roll up.
And I'm going to move all of my props to the side and move my legs to the front. And I'm going to come down onto my back body and into a supine twist here. So this is just on your back, lift up one leg, lift up both legs rather. And you can extend one leg down and just move one leg over, or you can bend both legs, lift your hips up. In this case, I'm moving my hips to the right. I'm lifting my right knee up, and I'm going to cross it over my left and drop my legs, my knees to the left. And here you can either lift your right arm straight up, or move it out, or straight to the side and look towards that hand. So this is a nice deep twist here. You can put your hand gently on your upper thigh near the knee, and allow that to guide it towards the floor. And we'll just stay here for a couple of moments. Just feeling that sense of the body melting into the ground beneath us. As we inhale and exhale, we have a very open front right chest. So we can feel the air filling up from the bottom of the chest to the middle, to the top of our chest, and then emptying out like a glass of water from the top down again. And we're feeling that movement. And we're going to turn the other way. Ready to come up? I'm just coming up on the back of my hands here and opening my chest out. I'm going to rotate my knees from side to side a bit. And we'll try the other side. So once again, I'm sitting up with I'm laying down on my back with my knees up, my feet flat on the ground. And I'm going to lift my left leg up over my right and then shift my hips to the left and then move my, put my hand on top of my my left thigh, and I'm looking towards my left hand here. That's extended out beside me. You can also have it extended up, straight up above your head if you like. And I'm just feeling that my back body is on the ground. Both my shoulders are on the ground, and my bottom body is twisted here, but still I'm feeling the twist. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but there shouldn't be any excruciating pain here. And I'm looking towards my left hand. And I'm thinking about Anne Sexton welcoming morning in her kitchen. And she has a cannon towel. I'm thinking how this reminds me so much of bourgeois living, where everything has a label. So I know that when she wrote that poem, she was thinking of that too, I'm sure. How we're so caught up in our bourgeois middle class lives. And there's something about just attending to that experience of being there with the birds who are feeding outside the window. That is something beyond the label of the towel. All right, we're moving our knees up again, and we're sitting on our back body. We're laying on our back body. We're moving our legs, windshield wipering again, back and forth, like tree boughs in the wind. We're just moving back and forth. Maybe a nicer image than windshield wipers. And now we're going to roll onto our side and come up here. I think now we'll just, we could do a few other poses, but I think it's about an hour now. So I think we'll come into a final relaxation. Now, you may want to stay up and relax sitting up, and with a cross-legged position. You could have a bolster. You could just fold over your bolster and rest your head. Or you could stretch out on your back body and lift your legs up the wall. Or you could lay back into Shavasana or corpse pose, whatever is convenient for you. And I'm going to just move I'm going to go up with legs up the wall. So I'm behind this bunch of flowers that I thought were so beautiful. I would add them to my little mise en scène here in my house. But I'm getting quite close to the wall. You can wiggle into the wall, or you can move from the side. Anyway, I've got my buttocks right up against this post. And if the wall were a full wall, I'd have my legs up like this. But I'm just laying back, and this is a lovely reclining position with your legs above your heart. It's very good for you to do. Usually in a yoga class, it's always good to have one position, an inversion. This is an inversion position. So we could be standing on our head or doing handstands against the wall, or we could just lift our legs up the wall and feel the beauty of that. All of that inversion, providing just a different way for the body to be, and the blood is flowing differently. And we can put our hands on our chest here, and we can open up our ribs
feel them opening up as though there's nothing between the ribs except tiny elastic bands that are opening up, and then they're shrinking and closing down again, and then they're opening up. We're filling up our lower chest, our middle chest, our upper chest, and then we're exhaling. And I'm going to count for a little bit with our breaths as we're laying here. And we're going to feel our breath find its own rhythm. If this is too much for you, then just breathe easily. But I'm going to invite us to inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale. And I'll just let you continue to breathe as you, in an easy manner. And I'll remain silent after I say a few words from that lovely poem. But you can rest in Shavasana, and I'll just read a few lines from here. There is joy in all. There is joy in all. In the hair I brush each morning, in the cannon towel newly washed, that I rub my body with each morning. There is joy in all, in the chapel of eggs I cook each morning. There is joy in the outcry from the kettle that heats my coffee each morning. There is joy in the spoon. There is joy in the chair. There is joy in that cry, "Hello there, Janice," each morning. There is joy in the Godhead of the table that I set my silver plate cup upon each morning. Each morning, there is joy. All this is God, right here in my pea green house, each morning. And I mean, though often forget to give thanks, to faint down by the kitchen table in a prayer of rejoicing, as the holy birds at the kitchen window peck into their marriage of seeds. All this is God, right here in my house, in my apartment, in my room, each morning. So while I think of it, let me paint a thank you on my palm for this God, this laughter of the morning, lest it go unspoken. The joy that isn't shared, I've heard, dies young. The joy that isn't shared, I've heard, dies young.
And now I'll invite you to feel movement in your toes and in your fingertips. You can flick your fingers, you can wiggle your toes, and I want you to, you could even wiggle your body. You could shake your hands. And in your own time, you can just stay on the floor or wherever you are and rest, continue your rest, or you can shift onto your side and in your own time, move up into a sitting position. And I will thank you for being here this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening. And I will greet you with my heart, my open heart, my heart that has been opened in the practice of breathing, of moving with you this morning, of listening to words that open me up to the joy in the moment that's possible. So let's turn our lips upward into a smile and manifest this throughout the day. And we'll find ourselves increasingly inhabited by joy, according to a Swami. So the teacher in me salutes the teacher in you and all of your teachers and all of my teachers, beloved teachers. And the student in you salutes the student. Sorry, the student in me salutes the student in you. And all of the students you may have touched, and all of the students I have met during the course of a long life. I salute you all with the joy in this morning. If you have any questions, please write to me. And see you next time.